All right, so Gary Player talking about the lack of diversity on the PGA Tour. And here's the quote from the legendary golfer. "We need Tiger Woods. Why? He's a man of color. We need a black champion. Go to Africa, where we've got all these young black kids used to seeing a white guy as the champion. Now they're getting inspired. They're sitting in front of their TV sets. It inspires them. It gets them interested in golf. Asia wants to see a man of color. So there are many reasons besides being so charismatic." I know a lot of people are going to say, "Well, that's a racist comment." I don't believe it is. I think it's a true comment. Are you aware that golf had more African Americans on the tour back in 1976 than they do now? As a matter of fact, is there more than one African American on the tour? Is there more than just Tiger Woods?
I told you the other day, and I started off, but supposedly when Tiger Woods came along, it was going to open it up to the whole world.
Yeah.
Golf is a country club sport. It's a public courses. It's open to everybody, but to get the training, to get coaching, to get teaching, that costs a lot of money. I remember when I was a kid.
Buying a sleeve of golf balls costs more than buying a basketball.
Yes.
I think, I respect Gary Player. I've been around him once. I thought it was a stupid comment.
Why?
If Chad Brown came here and said, "You know what football needs is a white guy that's good," what would you say about it? I'm being true with you. Who cares? I mean, I don't care. Tiger Woods was supposed to open it up to the world.
He didn't.
That's not going to.
No.
Okay. Where are the black,
it hasn't happened.
Where are the black
It just
golfers?
hasn't
Where are
happened.
the people of color? There are in the game, women's game. There are a lot of women from other countries.
Well, there is no ethnic diversity, primarily because there's so many Asians on the tour now. So you've got men and women of color. It's just yellow. It's not black.
Right. Well, number one, I don't see his statement as racist. It's not so, and I see it much less as a racial statement as opposed to a "let's grow the game" statement. And if the golf is popular in, let's face it, white places, places of color, golf's not very popular. So in order to grow the game, that's where you have to go. But to you guys' point, it's an expensive game to play.
Yes.
Unless the PGA is willing to subsidize this somehow in some way to make this champion of color happen, or a sudden interest in Africa, which is they got problems getting running water, so they don't need a lot of golf courses right now. Unless they're willing to subsidize this to make this happen, it's just simply not going to happen.
Tiger Woods came here to Park Hill, to the golf course. It's called a program called First Tee. He has a golf tournament every year called First Tee. I went over there. I hung with him. There were probably 150, 200 kids, half and half of African Americans and whites. And I would doubt sincerely that any one of them grew up to be a golfer. They wanted to meet Tiger Woods. I don't think you could force bringing an African American into baseball. You could keep complaining until there were more African American quarterbacks in the National Football League. And I think that we're all adults here, that there was a feeling for years and years and years, that, an African American can't play quarterback. He can't understand all this stuff. Well, that's ridiculous, and it's been found out. But I don't know, you can say, okay, we're just going to throw a lot of money at the inner city, and they're going to play golf.
And
they're
money.
They're going to get in cars and go out to Cherry Hills and play golf.
Let me make 2 points here. Number one, a PGA Tour official has said that it's easy for African Americans or any other minority to get involved in golf in high school and college because they're supported by scholarships.
It's subsidized.
Once they get past schooling and they have to go pro, then they need to go out and find sponsorship money, they need to find funding, and it's just more difficult for minorities to find that. So they need practice time, they need to travel, all that stuff. They're having trouble finding it. And number two, you know what Tiger Woods blames it on a lot? The advent of the golf cart. You know why?
Why?
Because he said there are fewer caddies now at country clubs. And a lot of those caddies were young African-American kids. And while they were on the course, they were exposed to the game. They were able to hit at times. And now they're not there.
Well, I got to totally disagree with you.
Well, then you're
What
disagreeing
are the
with Tiger.
best golf teams in high school? No, I'm not talking about caddies. I'm talking about when you said, oh, well, once they go to high school and they go to college, they play golf.
I'm telling you what a PGA Tour official
sponsors
said.
And stuff. Well, he's wrong. He is totally wrong. Manual High School doesn't have. I mean, Manual's gone, but East High School was predominantly African American or students of color.
A large percentage.
I doubt they even have a golf team. Cherry Hills has a golf team.
Right.
And at CU, how many black golfers are at CU? None. So, I mean, you're saying, well, once they get out of college and high school playing, they don't play in high school and college. They don't play.
No, what he was saying was
speaking here as a white guy, but
the few that are playing in high school and college don't continue playing because of the lack of funding. That's the point. That even if there are some programs in high school and college that have African American golfers or any other minority, after they get out of school, the money's just not there for them.
I would have to imagine it would have to be somebody from a, playing in the NFL as long as I did, I was exposed to obviously to tons of athletes of different sports. Most of them athletes of color. Most of them now play golf. Most of their kids now play golf. So I could see the next champion coming from that line as opposed to somebody who's got like more of the Serena Williams, Venus Williams story where the dad in the hood made it happen for them. It's going to be an ex-professional athlete whose son didn't want to, hit people with his face in football, but still had that competitive spirit and took his energies in that direction.
I just think those people talking Gary Player and that PGA official looking through rose-colored glasses.
Maybe.
And I tend to look at things realistically, and I've been around so long, and if it did not happen with Tiger Woods being the most dominant player in the history of the world for a period of about 15, 18 years, how is it going to happen now?
Yeah, it's doubtful it will happen.
But so Tiger Woods has been around for 20 years. I think you got to look a little further than 20 years. You can't in 20 years suddenly grow up this crop of golfers of color. If I was a 20-year-old when Tiger Woods was coming around and I was inspired by Tiger Woods and I picked up the sticks, I had my first child at 30. Now my child is 10 years old. We've still got another 15 years before my child who's inspired by me, who was inspired by Tiger Woods, has a chance to be on the tour. So I think the window of opportunity is still out there, but we won't really know for another 10 or 15 years.
Okay.